Hello, welcome back to our channel. We're back again, and this is another quick review of a game that was released in 2010. It's Lords of Vegas. This is sort of like it's an area control kind of gambling sort of game. You know, it's got a few similarities with other games that was released subsequently. So what we'll be doing in this video, we'll be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We'll be telling you what we do like, what we don't like, and then we'll come back and we'll tell you, we'll try and sort of match it against other games that have been released. We'll tell you whether it's worth buying and worth investing your time and money in 2019. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the link thing or whatever it does to tell you to subscribe up here, and leave a comment down below, and we'll see you after this. Board Games 4K. So, Lords of Vegas, a 2010 game designed by somebody, I can't remember their name, and I'm not going to have a look. Designed by James Ernest and Mike Selinka. I think he's a geezer that done the Pathfinder adventure card game, I think. But anyway, yeah, so this game is like a gambling sort of area control game with payouts and stuff like that. So this game is divided into two phases, right? Two phases. And in the first phase, you will draw a card from the deck of lot cards, yeah, and that will tell you which lot you're going to take over. So you'll take one of your little transparent discs and you'll place it on a lot. And then what you'll do after that, everybody that owns a lot that's on the board, it's already on the board, including the lot you just put on there, will get $1 million. So you'll get you'll get a little payout. And then what will happen is, depending on what colour the card that you pulled out the deck is, all the casinos of that colour will then pay out according to how many pips are on each die in that casino. And casinos could be bigger than one tile, they could be multiple tiles. So you count up all the pips in the same casino of that colour, and then you'll get that much money. And also some casinos will score points. You'll get 1 point for every tile that is in that casino. So a casino with one tile will score you 1 point, and a casino with 4 tiles will score you 4 points. But the problem with that is, the caveat with that is that only the boss of the casino, the person that owns the die with the most number of pips on it, the highest die, will get the points, right? So you've got to make sure that you own the tile with the highest number die, and if there's ties, then they get re-rolled, so there can never be a tie. So you're looking to have the highest number die to get the points. And if you look around the edge of the board, you'll see that on some squares you'll need to get more than 1 point to move up each space. So like for instance, the first few scoring segments on the outside of the board are 1 point, and then it'll move up to 2 points to move up, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and so on. So you add up all the points that you get, and if you're short, say if you've got you get 1 point in that round, but you need 2 points to move up to the next one, you can't move. So it forces you to expand your casino, right? So the second phase of this game, once everyone's done all the card, once you pulled the card out and put your lots down, you've got your money and your points, then you'll be playing actions. And there's 5 actions you can take in this game, and they are build, sprawl, remodel, reorganise, and gamble, right? So we're just going to give you a little idea of what each action does. We're going to be very brief here. So the first action you can do is the build action, and what you do, you'll choose one of the lots that you've got where you've got a marker, and you'll pay the cost of that lot, and then you'll put a coloured, any colour, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to match the card that come out, you'll put a coloured tile over that, and then you'll add a die, one of your die from your pool, and you'll put it in the little hole on the tile, right? The number on the board needs to match the pips that you put on there, right? And that's the build action. So easy peasy, that one, isn't it? So the sprawl action is you will pay twice the cost of the tile that you want to sprawl into, and you'll choose one of your casinos, then you'll choose an orthogonal space that is unclaimed, so an empty lot, and then you'll pay double the cost, and then you'll dump one of your tiles down there, and then you'll sprawl, right? So that's a nice way of sort of expanding your casino. The card that you want doesn't come out. Yeah, so the remodel action is you'll pay $5 per tile, right? And then you'll change the colour of all the tiles in the casino where you're the boss, and then that allows you to sort of maybe you're thinking that some of the cards that you want to come out haven't come out, and you're not going to get payouts for that. So it allows you to change up the colours of the tiles that of the casino that you've already got control of. So the reorganise action, this one is a bit odd. So you'll be taking all the dice from one casino, and then you'll re-roll them all. You can change how many pips are on each dice potentially, and what that'll do, that'll cost you $1 per pip on each die that's in that casino, and each die that you re-roll has got to go back where it came from. But if you've got more than one die in a casino, you can rearrange the dice, your own dice, wherever you want. Alright, that is the reorganise action. So the final action you can do is you can gamble at someone's casino, and the way this works is you've got a $5 minimum bet, and you can increase that bet by $5 for every tile that's in that casino. So the bigger the casino, the bigger the potential payout. You roll 2 dice, and depending on what you roll, you'll get your stake back, and then you'll get that from the person who's the boss of the casino that you gambled at. However, if you roll another number, I can't remember what numbers they are, but if you roll another number, then the boss of that casino will get your stake, right? And but the thing is, if you roll a 2 or a 12, you double the amount of winnings that you get. So if you win, you get double. If they win, they get double. However, the boss of the casino can choose to lay off half of the stake to the bank before the dice are rolled, in which case only half the money's up for grabs. Alright, that's the 5 actions of this game. So we're now going to tell you what we do like. So one of the pros here is that expansion comes with a risk. So the more you expand, the bigger the potential dividend of the casinos when the cards come out. However, when somebody gambles at your casino, they can increase their stake by $5 per tile. So there's a nice sort of a gambling aspect in it. So the more you expand, the more money you can get, but you've also got the risk of losing money if someone chooses to gamble at your casino. So that's a nice little twist. So yeah, the fact this game is heavily luck based means that you're never going to get the same layout on the board from one game to the next. So the fact that the cards come out and you don't have any control about the order that the lots are distributed means that you can't plan. If they came out in the same order every round, or sort of came out in a sort of same order every round, then you could sort of plan ahead. But the fact that these cards are randomised and you've got no control over the way that they come out means that you've always got that the game is always different every game. Yeah, they've done a nice little thing with the pay the strip. So the strip runs through the middle of in the main deck of cards. You've got several, I think it's 3 or 4 pay the strip cards, and when that's pulled out, all the casinos that are adjacent to the strip, the road in the middle of the board, will get the payout, and they're more lucrative. The ones that are closer to the strip always pay out more. So there's a lovely competition for places for casinos that are neighbouring the strip. And even if those cards don't come out of the deck when you want them to, you can still sprawl into those spaces, and you can still reorganise and remodel those spaces. That aspect of the game forces people into sort of conflicts with each other by making them focus on trying to grab those tiles near the strip. Yeah, the fact that there's so much dice rolling in this, I mean, it's always exciting when someone chooses to reorganise a casino. You know, they're taking all the dice, and you're sitting there thinking, oh my god, come on, hurry up, am I no longer going to be the boss? I mean, it's expensive, but when somebody chooses to do that, they take your 6 away and it turns into a 1, and then their 1 turns into a 6. It's like everybody shouts out and goes mental at the table, you know. So that's always exciting. The random nature of the game, it fits the theme, doesn't it? You know, there's so much gambling, so much random nature of this one. So yeah, like we said, the gambling theme's well implemented. There's loads of different things to do. You know, it's from the random nature of the lot distribution to the random nature of the gambling action and the remodeling. Everything's down to luck of a dice, but at the same time, you've got a lot of planning and a lot of organisation that goes into this one. It's not completely luck based. There's a nice blend of strategy and a nice blend of luck that comes together. So what don't we like about this one? So we've been here before with a few other games. I mean, Fresco's one of them. Is the fact that where the board starts out empty and gradually gets filled up towards the end of the game, there's not many tiles available. Like you want to sort of build out your yellow casino, but there's no yellow casino tiles available for purchase, or there's nothing up for grabs. So the game suffers from a lot of the actions being made redundant towards the end of the game. and you're thinking, well, come on, is this game over card going to come out of the deck sooner rather than later? And you're sort of thinking, well, what am I going to do now? I can't do this, I can't do that. Am I going to just gamble and risk a load of my money? Because the tiebreaker in this game is who's ever got the most money. And sometimes towards the end of the game, you might just, that's all that's available to you is the gambling action, because you can't build, you can't afford to remodel, you can't reorganise, and you're just sort of stuck, you know. So that's one of the pretty negative things about this game. Yeah, like we said, the reorganise action, okay, it's very powerful, you know, but it's awfully, so it's very expensive. So the problem is that the smaller casinos with like 2 or 3 tiles aren't really worth reorganising, but the more lucrative casinos become so expensive, it's not really worth the money. Bigger casinos tend to get left alone, and smaller casinos aren't really worth the hassle. So you don't really tend to take the reorganise action unless you're absolutely desperate to do so, or you've got nothing better left to do. Yeah, with the gambling action, one of the major flaws of this one is the layoff to the bank. I mean, I know it's probably there to protect the casino boss, but in doing so, more often than not, 99% of the time, the boss will always take the layoff action, and it favours the boss so much that it makes the gambling action kind of like pointless, you know, because you're thinking, well, I'll just chuck in maybe $20 million, but the boss is going to be like, whoa, hang on, I ain't having that, you can have $10 million. So, you know, the fact that the casino boss will always, more often than not, well, always take that layoff action, because it makes no difference to them, because they're not the one initiating the gambling, right? So the fact they're always going to take it makes the gambling action less potent, if you know what I mean. So, Lords of Vegas, is it still worth it 9 years later in 2019? And I would say yes, it's worth playing. It's definitely worth playing. I don't know if it was if it had a second edition, would I buy it? Probably not. I mean, there's let's think about other games that are sort of similar, like theme-wise to this one, and games that have got the same kind of mechanics. So the 2 games that spring to mind immediately are Las Vegas and Chinatown, right? Because Chinatown's got that sort of same negotiation, area control, tile laying sort of thing going on, and Las Vegas has got that dice rolling, you know, gambling at a casino theme and mechanics. Yeah, and I would say, from my own personal point of view, that I would rather have in my collection Chinatown and Las Vegas on my shelf rather than this one. If I had to make a choice, if somebody, you know, forced me to dump one or the other, then I would go for Las Vegas and Chinatown, because you probably pick them up for the same kind of money nowadays. Yeah, the reason being is that they do both of the main mechanics of this game better than this one. However, this is still a really good game. It's still exciting, but it does suffer. The end game suffers where it runs out of steam on its own. You know, so you start off with this big, broad, all these possibilities, and gradually over time the road narrows, and you end up bumping into a brick wall at the end because there's nothing left to do. Whereas Chinatown, it's all pure negotiation, cutthroat, it's shouting, everyone's screaming at each other. And Las Vegas has got that sort of really quick majorities, backstabbing and all that sort of stuff, where you move in on somebody else's casino, they end up tied and you take the spoils. Yeah, so those 2 games do what this game does, but better. But still, if you can get hold of this one cheap, still worth a look, still pretty good. And yeah, that's Lords of Vegas. So like we said, if you're new here, if you want to see more of this stuff, then come back, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you next time.